Hey everyone, this is Jeff from Blue Goose Collectibles, and welcome to my inaugural YouTube video. It's been a few months now that I've been vending, and I've been videoing myself as I vend, so I've been trying to get into the YouTube space a little bit with some vendor POV videos and maybe some advice videos, grading returns, but I kind of been dragging my feet on it. But this last week, I came across the craziest childhood collection that I have ever or will ever see in my entire life. And I knew going through this collection that I needed to memorialize it in a video, and I thought it'd be a great idea for my first video. So a little bit about me is I play Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64 competitively, and the person who approached me with this collection is also a member of that community. So we kind of knew each other prior to arranging this deal. So when he reached out and he showed me what he had, I was actually just awestruck. My jaw hit the floor. It is an absolutely insane collection. Especially, it's an insane collection for anyone, but especially for a childhood collection. He's had this since he was, 13. After we totaled it all up, it's probably around a $30,000 collection, and I did buy a good chunk of it from him. However, the big around 12 cards that I'll be showing you shortly, I will be sending off for grading for him, and we haven't exactly agreed upon what will happen. A lot will depend on what the grades are for some of these cards. I might buy some from him, but I think the bulk of it I'll probably sell for him on his behalf. And it was just such a crazy large collection. It took us 10 hours to go through and price everything. It was ridiculous. I had so much fun going through it. I was like so giddy the whole time. I wish I could do it again, because just seeing these cards, it doesn't happen too frequently. And I have done one card show with them, and being able to display them out, it really just stops everyone who passes by. And it's been so much fun talking to people about the cards and where I found them from, because you see some pretty big collections, and you see some collections from some wealthier individuals like PSA 10s that can easily get into the tens of thousand range, but you don't run across 2 binders that someone had in their closet for the last 20 years. He was slightly aware of what the prices were, especially some of the gold stars. Like, he knew that they were expensive, and he was aware back when the big spike happened in 2020 that his cards had value, but back then he wasn't really interested in selling. But fortunately, recently, became a father, and some of his priorities in life changed a little bit, so he was willing to part with them at the end of the day, and I'm very fortunate that he reached out. So without further ado, I'm going to go through the collection. It's crazy. Enjoy, and then after we go through the collection, I'm just going to do a little bit of a wrap up and talk a little bit more about what allowed me to purchase this collection. Alright, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. We are first going to go through all of the big cards from this collection. We're going to start with gold stars, then we're going to move on to shinings, then we're going to go into some base set first edition, and then some of the bigger hits from the Watsi era that my friend had in his collection. So we're just going to go straight to the creme de la creme, the best card in his collection, the Gold Star Charizard. Now, originally, when my friend sent me a video of his collection, he sent me a separate video of this Charizard, and on video, it looked so clean. Like, I thought it was an 8 or a 9. Like, kind of from this angle, it looks really clean, but on closer inspection, you can see there's some wear on that bottom right corner. There's some wear on the top right, on the back. And then there's actually a little ding on the top left corner. It's hard to pick up. It's a little bend, tiny little bend. But otherwise, this card, especially for a gold star, most of them are just tattered. This one is in really good condition. I think it's going to get a 6. I wouldn't be surprised with a 4 or 5. And, you know, very outside shot at getting a PSA 7. But absolutely beautiful card. All right, moving on. Gold Star Pikachu. This one's in similar condition to the Charizard. It looks beautiful. It's stunning. There is some slight edge wear on the back. Like you can see that little ding top right. Some edge wear bottom right. You know, I expect there's a little fold. You can kind of see it on this top left corner. It's tough to say. Anywhere from like 4, 5, or 6. Really outside shot at a 7, but the PSA has been grading these vintage grails really tough. So next up, Gold Star Gyarados. Man, I love this card. So nostalgic. Everyone had the red Gyarados. This one's a little bit more beat up. You can see the edge wear on the bottom a little bit more. You can see that there's a little binder ding in the bottom right corner. You know, I expect, you know, 4 or 5 on this, which is still, you know, it's a gold star. Absolutely beautiful card. Yeah, so I'm really making this video just to kind of document this purchase. As I said before, you know, you just don't encounter childhood collections like this, and I don't think I'll see one ever again. Alright, next up, Gold Star Celebi. This one is in a little bit better condition. I would not be surprised if it's got a 7, like maybe outside shot at an 8. But again, like PSA is just so harsh. Yeah, it's pretty clean. Pretty clean. I have high hopes for that one. Alright, so that is all of the gold stars. Now let's move on to the shining cards. Now we do have the shining Charizard. Absolutely beautiful. The front is really clean. Actually, there is, as you can see, a little crease on the right side. Top right along the border, tiny little crease. It's going to knock it down to like a 4. Yeah, I think it's going to get like a 4 or 5. There's like a little dent at the bottom. Let's see if we can pick that up. It's tough. Little whitening at the top. Overall, it's still beautiful. Just like an absolutely beautiful card. Oh, there's another crease at the top right. Top border. And on the right. Still beautiful card. It's what you see and expect from childhood cards. Unfortunately, when I got the video of the Gold Star Charizard at first, I really had high expectations that some of these would be clean, you know. My friend told me that, you know, he never played with these. However, he did trade for them. So the kids that he traded cards to get these probably played with them and not him. Yeah, this one has much more wear. This is probably like 3 or 4. Edge wear all around the card. This is my favorite shining card though. Some light scratches on the holo. Alright, moving on to what is everyone's favorite shining card is the Shining Gyarados. Everyone loves this artwork. This one is first edition. There's not too many first edition cards in this collection, as we'll see. But this is one of them. It's a big one to have in first edition. This one also has the potential to have the double holo error. I don't believe this one does, but honestly, I am not the right person to make that decision. Oh man, look at that storm just brewing above his head. Again, this, as you can see from the back, this one's pretty played. A lot of just play wear on it. Not seeing too many, some dents a little bit. You know, 4 or 5. 3, 4, 5. I wouldn't be surprised with this card. Still absolutely beautiful. Alright, now we have our first PSA 10 contender. No, I'm just joking. It's missing an entire corner. This one's not getting graded, obviously. Like, I don't know if PSA would even grade this card with the amount of material missing. This is about as beat up as it gets. But still, it's just crazy what these cards go for, even in these beat up conditions. There's like, I don't know, lipstick on the back or something. Yeah, this one's tough. Tough condition to have this one in. But I saw a lot of damaged cards. I will find someone who wants that card in their binder. Alright, next up, we have the Shining Raichu. This one is in a little bit better condition. This one looks a little bit better. There's some scratching on the holo. You can't really pick it up. On the back, you know what? This is actually pretty clean. This is pretty clean. I wouldn't be surprised if it's got like a 7, outside shot at an 8. You know, very outside shot at a 9. Very curious to see what this will come back from PSA as. Alright, and then last up for the Shinings, we actually have a Japanese Shining Steelix. Now, if anyone knows, the Japanese version of these Shinings are actually more expensive than their English counterparts. I believe they're just a little bit more rare. Unfortunately, this one is... It's not... It looks pretty good on camera, but there are some scratches. I think it'll be around a 7. 6 or 7. There's some dings, light surface scratching, but it's just a beautiful card. I love this card. Just the gold Steelix. Alright, that concludes our Shining cards. Now let's move on to base set first edition. Alright, next up, the base set first edition Gyarados. This one's not in a horrible condition. You can see there's some wear at the bottom. I'm imagining it's like a 5 or 6. The holo's pretty clean though. There's some small scratches, but it just looks beautiful. I love base set first edition. And next we have the Hitmonchan. Again, moderately played condition. Has some surface scratches. You can kind of tell. And for the last of the base set first edition cards, we have the Ninetales. This one's pretty scratched. Wear at the bottom right. You know, moderately played. Yeah, these will get anywhere between 4s and 6s. Hope for 6s. Alright. Also in his collection, he had 10 base set unlimited Charizards. Well, actually, 9 base set unlimited Charizards. And at the end, you'll see he had 1 legendary collection. Unfortunately, these are all heavily played or damaged. You can see a lot of them had these fat creases in them. You know, even in heavily played condition, they're around $170. They all have like all this kind of play and creases, but it's base set unlimited Charizard. You know, people want them. All right. Now here's where it gets crazy. EX era cards. Dragonite, Rayquaza, Blastoise, Deoxys, Flareon, Venusaur, Altaria, Espeon. Unfortunately, most of these cards are in pretty bad condition. I'll show you the Espeon. Espeon's unfortunately in one of the worst conditions. I'll say these are all anywhere between moderately played and damaged, but the bulk being damaged, you can see that crease. It's just such a shame because the holo is actually so clean. It just has this vertical crease on the top and this other crease on the right, but otherwise, I mean, I just love this card. Yeah, so unfortunately these aren't in the best condition, but my friend has had so many of them. It's so many cards from the EX era. And believe it or not, he just didn't even know that these actually had value. Yeah, I think like the best condition ones he had a few in light play, not many, but he had all the big hitters. Like here's the Dragonite, and like you can see, just the crease on it. So unfortunate. The Prime snuck in there somehow. Flygon, Raichu, Zapdos, Groudon. Level X snuck in there too. This one's like light play. The Celebi, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Crawdon, Blaziken. God. These cards are so sought after now. Like, I'm going to take these to a show, and I feel like they're going to be gone in one show. And especially these Delta species ones. Like, these are just so sought after. Okay. I love this Articuno with the cracked ice. Another Articuno. And unfortunately, these just like aren't in good condition. Just the wear at the top. Again, they're all like heavily to moderately played. Well, that's a nice swirl by the Hitmonchan's head. Moltres. Like that, the amount of these EX is just crazy. Like I don't know how I'm still flipping through them. Just going through this whole collection, it was so much fun. Just turning the page, just not knowing what you're gonna see, not knowing what condition these were in. I was really hoping for some of these to be gradable. Unfortunately, they're all not. Still gorgeous cards, but I really had my hopes up after he sent that video of the Gold Star Charizard that some of these were gonna be in like mint condition, or the majority of them would be in mint condition. But like, you know, you can see this crease on the Gardevoir. Delcatty, beautiful. But, you know, I think that's all the EXs. We have the Johto Primes. Unfortunate they're in the condition they are, but still an amazing find. Next up, we're going to start going through the vast amount of Watsi holos that were in my friend's collection. It's absolutely ridiculous. Here you can see Dark Dragonite First Edition. 2 Neogenesis Lugias. Look at the swirl on that one. I got a double swirl. Sheesh. Beautiful. Alright, we're gonna go through the rest of these a little bit faster. Umbreon. Another swirl by Ho-Oh's head. Shadowless Blastoise. Suicune. Articuno First Edition. Steelix First Edition. Now, unfortunately, most of these moderately played, heavily played, damaged. Also, not a ton of first editions. We got Mark's Pikachu. It's just great. Like, even in this damaged condition, it's like an $80 card. This is one of my favorites, so I love that card. Alright, let's move through these a little faster. Best of Game Electabuzz. It's just... Oh, First Edition Mischievous. Beautiful card. It just really is crazy just how many of these cards he had. Just 2 full binders. He traded for all of them. I don't know what he traded. His soul, but... Gengar is a good one. Rockets Mewtwo, that's a big one. Yeah, we sat in my house for 10 hours going through all of these cards. It was ridiculous. Ooh, it's a nice swirl on the Dark Tyranitar. Beautiful. Oh, base set first edition Machamp. Just duplicates of all these. Just wish they're in a little bit better condition, but regardless, you know, these collections, they just don't come around every day. A lot of these have really nice swirl. Look at that swirl on the Machamp. Gorgeous. I don't even know how you acquire all of these as a kid. He said he also played Yu-Gi-Oh! And traded some Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards for these. Myself, my parents threw away all my Pokemon cards when I was a kid, unfortunately. Like the majority of us. That was just the first stack. This is the second stack of Watsi holos. So I really got to get moving. This video is going to be an hour long. Shadowless Chansey. Shadowless Clefairy. And this doesn't even break the surface. This is just the Watsi. Wait till I get to the EX era holos and reverse holos. We're going to be here all day. But I really just want to get this all on camera. Really memorialize this purchase. A collection like this, a childhood collection at least, is never going to come across me ever again. He had a few E-Series, not too many. Meowth, love that Meowth. Dragonite. Cool Porygon. Again, it's a nice swirl. Shadowless Zapdos. Love that Delibird. Kamiya is the best. And again, it's just not even one of each. Just like he collected duplicates and duplicates and duplicates and duplicates. Like Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon, Flareon, Flareon. And, you know, during the COVID spike, he did learn that the value of his cards went up considerably. But he had a real attachment to these cards and really didn't want to sell them. And, you know, he's starting a family now, and after the price went up a second time, ooh, Dark Raichu first edition. Unfortunately, it is damaged. Dark Espeon's beautiful. But yeah, you know, he's married and is a father and has different priorities than he did when he was a child collecting these, so he was happy with the sale. I will be grading the Shinings, the Gold Stars, and the base set first edition cards for him. And then we can discuss how he wants to sell those once they come back from PSA. They're going to be sent express, so hopefully they'll be back quickly. Alright, next up we have our Japanese Watsi. Quite a bit of Japanese. Again, nothing gradable. There were some of these in near mint condition, but most were still like light played, moderate, heavy played. I'm a Japanese collector myself. Ooh, that swirl. Oh, the Cosmos foil. These are all so beautiful. Again, this just took so long to go through all these. Just absolutely beautiful. Alright, now let's move on to some of the mid-era. Alright, now we're going to go through the copious amount of mid-era holos, reverse holos. Oh, that Umbreon's a good one. Damage, unfortunately. Ooh, Legend Maker Gengar, another big one. I mean, all of these cards are so beautiful. Another Prime Donphan, Level X Palkia, Ditto Pika. Non-holo Ray, but still a couple of bucks. Reverse holo Alakazam that snuck in there. But he just has so many of these reverse holos and holos from the EX era. These Ditto cards are great. Cleffa reverse. He said that he pulled, I think, most of the reverse holos that you'll see here, he pulled himself, and they were in a little bit better condition. A lot of them were light play. Fortunately, this Blastoise is just thrashed. That's a big one. What's crazy is he almost didn't bring this binder. You know, he thought these were not worth anything. At the last second, I was like, oh yeah, you know, just bring all the cards you have. You might have some stuff in there that you don't even know is actually valuable. And lo and behold, like, that Magikarp's a big card. There's a stupid EX Team Rocket reverse Magikarp, like $50. Just so many of these reverse holos. I love the fire green, or fire red, leaf green reverse holo pattern with like all of the energy symbols in the background. Some Watsi in there. Just absolutely beautiful. And just the sheer volume is ridiculous. Like, I really don't know how in the world. So typically when I vend, I only have one table. I might need two. I might need two to show all of these. It's definitely increased my inventory. I'm really curious to see how well these move. I have a feeling that they are going to sell like hotcakes, because you just don't see that many of these reverses or even just holos from the mid-era. Whenever I vend, I do get a lot of people asking me if I have the silver border EXs or any mid-era cards, and I typically have a few, but I mean, I'm just gonna have all of them, which is crazy. Alright, this is the second half of EX era holos, reverse holos. So crazy. I have a show this Saturday, and I'm so excited to vend. I'm gonna have a whole case of just those silver bordered EX holos. It's gonna blow people's minds. So excited. I'm not excited to price all these and then put them in top loaders. It's gonna take me hours and hours and hours to sort all these. Oh, some more Watsi in there. Oh, another Squirtle Ditto. Aeron. This is really crazy. It's just like never ending. It's just sad because I'm never going to find a childhood collection like this. His brother actually does have a pretty good collection as well. He has some gold stars. Not as big as this. Still very big. But a collection this size will never come across my table again. Never crossed my path, so... Alright, this is the last stack of cards that I bought in this collection. So grateful to be able to purchase these and to go through them, and this experience going through the binder. I had so much fun. Just like a kid in a candy shop. Just had to be memorialized in a video. Could not document this. It's just too crazy. Gorbis. One of 4 Gorbis cards. Spiel. Matang. And on a Beldum Deoxys reverse. So as I said prior, we were kind of acquaintances in the Smash 64 community. You know, we have met on a couple occasions prior, so he's aware of me, and he was comfortable selling to me because we had, you know, some common friends and associates. But he also reached out to someone that he knew from high school, who he knew sold cards. And one thing that I really like to preach in my business, and something that has really helped my Pokemon card business grow, is transparency and honesty. He basically reached out to me and his high school friend with kind of the same spiel. It's like, hey, I have this Pokemon collection. I know it's worth something, but, it's kind of overwhelming going through everything. I don't really know the best way to sell this. Like, could you give me some professional guidance on what would be the best way to part with this collection in a fair manner? Now, when he sent this text, he also sent a video of the binder and then also a video of the Gold Star Charizard by itself. Now, his friend from high school, when he responded, said, "Oh, I'll give you $2,000 for the Charizard." Didn't try to help, didn't quote any prices, just tried to get a quick deal on that Gold Star Charizard. And I think that really put off the person with the collection to selling with him. However, when he reached out to me, I said, wow, this is a crazy collection. It's worth a lot of money. I'll definitely go through everything with you. We can sit down together. We can price out the cards. I'll put it on a spreadsheet and I can let you know what it's worth and also, what I can offer. And, since you're not in the space, this is what vendors or Pokemon card resellers will typically offer for collections like this. Here's the percentages. Here's what I think would be worth grading. Here's what I think wouldn't be worth grading. No pressure. You don't even have to sell. You just come over and we'll go through your collection and we'll get it sorted. And then I would love to buy it, but if you don't want to, you want to think on it, that's fine as well. And because I was open with him and I took 10 hours with him at my home to go through the collection, price it out, and give him a fair offer accordingly, he was comfortable selling to me. And not only was he comfortable selling to me, he was comfortable with handing me all of his gold stars, all of his shining cards, all of his base set first edition cards, and grading them for him on his behalf. And that kind of transparency and fairness has always led to more business. People who come to me from Facebook Marketplace, who I do good business with, have on a number of occasions come back to me because they know I can be trusted. So I've gotten more business from doing fair business. And the person with this collection, he has a brother who's also in the Super Smash Bros. 64 community who also has a really big collection. Not as big as this one, but he does have some gold stars. He has a number of, base set Charizards, collections like that. Even while we were sitting together, he was talking to a friend from his childhood who also had like a gold star Gyarados, who was also interested in selling. So, doing good and fair business will allow your brand to have the power to be trusted, and that power really cannot be understated. And it will really allow for your business to grow. And burning people and ripping people off, you might make a quick buck, but there's no longevity in it. So that's really how I like to run my business. And if you have a collection that you want to sell, please reach out to me. My details will be in the description below. And I appreciate everyone watching. If you can, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. This is my first video. I'm trying to get out there. I really just want to grow my business and use YouTube and Instagram as a platform to, get my name out there, allow for people to have a little bit more trust in me and my business as a brand. So, I appreciate everyone watching, and I hope you have a good one.